Good morning. Good morning. It is a beautiful Monday morning. And today, I just want to say I am so thankful for it. I love summer. I don't know if you're loving summer, but I'm definitely loving summer. Why don't you trust yourself anymore? Truthfully, why don't you trust yourself anymore? That is today's topic. It's been heavy on my heart because for the longest time, I had a hard time learning how to retrust myself. So, we're going to talk about it today. Welcome to Surviving to Thriving. I'm Amy Booth. And if you found yourself ever saying, I don't know what to do, I don't know what decisions is right, I keep second guessing myself, I wish I trusted myself again, I want to challenge um, you to something. Maybe the problem isn't that you don't know what to do. Maybe somewhere along the way, you stopped trusting the person God created you to be. And if that's you today, this conversation is for you. And here is what I have learned through my journey. We don't lose our ourselves overnight. We don't lose our self-trust overnight. We lose it one survival experience at a time. Every betrayal that you've ever had, every disappointment, every traumatic experience, and every time someone convinced you your feelings didn't matter, every time you were told you were too much, or every time you have ignored your intuition, maybe fear made the decision instead of faith. And little by little, you stopped believing yourself, not because you are weak, but because survival has trained you to always question yourself. I want to say that again. You stopped believing yourself, not because you were weak, but because survival trained you to question yourself. And I say that because I remember everything that I had been through, the illnesses, the surgeries, losing my voice, learning how to walk confidently again um, was really hard. So I had to learn how to trust myself again. And I kept saying at the time, I don't trust my body anymore. I'm going to, well, I said a lot of things. I negatively talked to myself for a long time before I was like, I can do this. So I kept saying, I don't trust myself anymore. But one day I realized it was only my body. Like, it was only my body that was doing it. I questioned every decision, every symptom that popped up, every next step that I took, every dream that I had, because they were very vivid. I had fear had become louder than my own voice, and it was a big change. And that's what survival does. It convinces you that playing small is safer than moving forward. And, but, well, here's what changed really. I realized self trust isn't a feeling. No, it's evidence. You don't wake up one morning and suddenly trust yourself again. You build it up, one kept promise at a time, one walk, one boundary, one prayer, one hard conversation, one one courageous decision at a time. And every promise that you keep to yourself becomes the evidence. So every promise that you keep to yourself becomes evidence, and evidence becomes your confidence. And confidence becomes your identity, and your identity becomes your future. Let me say that again. Every promise you keep to yourself becomes evidence, and evidence becomes confidence, and confidence becomes your identity, and identity becomes your future. So let me ask you something. Where have you stopped trusting yourself? Your health, your marriage, your calling, your business, your leadership, your intuition, your healing? Because maybe today God isn't asking you to have all the answers. Maybe He's simply asking you to take the next faithful step in the right direction. Choose you today. Choose one decision for you. And I think one of the greatest tragedies of survival isn't what happened to us. It's what survival convinced us to believe about ourselves, that we are incapable, we're too damaged, we're too emotional, we're too late, we're too old, we're too broken, we're too inexperienced, we are not qualified for anything, we're not enough. But what if none of that actually is true? What if none of it's true? What if those aren't your beliefs? What if they are survival beliefs? Because surviving says, stay where it's familiar, but thriving says, grow into who you were created to become. Surviving says, stay where it's familiar, and thriving is grow into who you were created to become. So today, I want you to make yourself one promise. Just one. Not 10, not 15, just one. And keep it. Keep it for you. Because every promise you keep to yourself is another brick laid in the foundation of your self-trust. So remember that you don't become your future self by waiting. Your future self, sorry, my screen keeps going. My camera's all black, so that's crazy. You don't become your future self by waiting to feel confident again. You become your future self by becoming someone you say, you become your future self for someone you can trust. So you have to trust yourself again to become your future self. You have to have your confidence back. So here at Surviving the Thriving, that's exactly what we're building together. We learn to regulate, renew, root, and rise. And maybe because surviving may have been part of your story, but thriving can become your legacy. I'm Amy Booth, and thank you for spending this morning with me. I hope that you have a wonderful day.